Bloom and rise, inner shift, outer rise.
Nobody asked you to remember the dentist appointment, the permission slip, the fact that the milk is running out, the birthday next Thursday, the medication that needs refilling, the school event nobody else put in their calendar. Nobody asked. You just do. And when someone says, "Why didn't you tell me?" you do not have the words to explain that the knowing is the exhausting part. Not the doing, the knowing. This is the episode I have wanted to make for a long time. Because this particular exhaustion, the one that has no name in everyday conversation, is one of the most consistently misunderstood experiences in a mother's life. Today, we are going to name it. And I hope that naming it gives you something you may not have had before. Permission to feel exactly how tired you actually are. What the mental load actually is. The mental load is a term that describes the invisible cognitive and emotional work of managing a household and family. It was brought into mainstream conversation largely through the work of French cartoonist Emma in 2017. And what I find most significant about the response to her work is how many millions of women read it and said, "Finally, someone named it." Here is what is actually happening. The mental load is not the tasks themselves. It is the management of the tasks. It is knowing what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, who needs to do it, and what will happen if it does not get done. It is the planning, the anticipating, the tracking, and the remembering that runs constantly, in the background of every other thing you are doing. It does not clock out. It does not take weekends. It does not pause because you are tired. And here is the part that makes it particularly exhausting. It is almost entirely invisible to everyone around you.
Why it falls to mothers. This did not happen by accident, and it is not a character flaw in the partners who do not carry it. What I see consistently, in research and in the experiences women share, is that the mental load is a product of deeply embedded social conditioning. From childhood, girls are taught to pay attention to the needs of others, to anticipate, to manage, to hold space. Boys are largely not taught these things in the same way. By the time two adults form a household together, one person has been trained for decades in the invisible labor of care, and the other has not. This is not about blame. It is about understanding a pattern that is structural, not personal. Because when you understand that it is structural, you stop asking, "Why does he not notice?" and start asking, "How do we rebuild this more equally?" The emotional load nobody accounts. This is the part nobody talks about. Beneath the mental load, the logistics, the planning, the remembering, there is an emotional load. The constant monitoring of everyone's emotional states. Are they okay? Are they developing normally? Are they happy? Are they struggling? Is something wrong that nobody is saying? The emotional load means that a mother is rarely fully off duty, even in the moments she is supposed to be resting. She is at dinner, but she is also watching whether the children are eating enough. She is watching a film, but she is also aware that someone went to bed quieter than usual. She is in a conversation with a friend, but part of her is tracking the time because someone needs to be picked up. Here is what is actually happening in these moments. Her nervous system is performing two jobs simultaneously, always. And the cumulative effect of that dual processing, over months, over years, is an exhaustion that sleep alone cannot fix. Because the issue is not rest. The issue is that she has never been fully off. What it does to a relationship. What I see consistently is this pattern. The mental and emotional load builds quietly until it reaches a tipping point. And then something small happens. Someone forgets to pick up the thing. Someone does not notice the thing that needed noticing. And the reaction feels disproportionate. Not because it is, but because it is carrying the weight of everything that came before it. The resentment that builds in relationships around the invisible load is not irrational. It is information. It is telling you that the distribution of invisible labor has become unsustainable. And that information, uncomfortable as it is worth paying attention to. What actually helps? The single most effective thing I have seen in terms of shifting the invisible load is making it visible. Not in a moment of frustration, deliberately, calmly. Writing out everything the mental load currently contains. Every task, every anticipated task, every emotional monitoring job. And then not assigning, not demanding, discussing. What of this can be genuinely shared? The goal is not a perfectly equal split. The goal is that both people can see the full picture. Because right now, only one person can. And when both people can see it, something shifts. Because what was invisible becomes undeniable. And what is undeniable can finally be addressed.
If you have been carrying this and feeling like you should not be as tired as you are, I want you to know that the exhaustion is real. The load is real. And you are not failing for feeling the weight of it. What part of this resonated most with you today? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe for more honest conversations. She is growing in every version of herself.